For anyone selling right now, it is not tough to find an investor who will give you an offer. But the question is it worth it?
You better get fired up.
Dude, was I muted for that?
I don't think so. I heard you.
You heard me? Okay, well then
Yeah.
we're okay. All right, good. Woo! It's January 2nd, man. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. I'm excited. How are you?
I'm excited too. You know me, man. I'm always motivated, focused on something new that'll energize me. So the beginning of the year is kind of like my Super Bowl, man. I just get really excited to embark on some new adventures. So I'm fired up, man. So investors, we've all gotten them, especially as realtors. You get these offers, and I'll tell you, there's really a couple different types of investors out there. There's some investors, when I see the offer come through, I'm like, it's not even worth my time. Legally, I have to discuss them with my sellers unless I've had some sort of special conversation with my sellers. But for the most part, they're pretty worthless. But then there's, another group of investors that tend to give pretty good offers. Tell me from your perspective, Lissette, I know you work with investors quite a bit. What do the offers generally look like in comparison with a normal buyer coming in and giving an offer? What are the comparisons? What are the differences?
So this is really interesting because I come across this quite a bit. With EXP, we also have availability to our iBuyer platform. So a lot of times I get leads, sellers contact me, reach out to me asking about this iBuyer option. And I sit down to them to explain to them how the process works. And the first thing I like to make clear to all my sellers is don't expect an offer that you're going to get a fair market value as if you would if you were to put it on the MLS. That's first thing. Let's get that across the board. Second thing is, does your property qualify? You see, these investors are looking for a property that needs some kind of renovation. So if your property is in pretty good condition, first, you're going to get a low offer, which probably isn't fair. And second of all, does it even qualify? If it doesn't need any renovations, if it's turnkey, it may not even be an option for you.
Yeah, I think you made some great points there. I always say, put yourself, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, into the perspective of the investor. They've got to make some money, right? Whatever that money they've got to make is, that's money that you are losing in a deal compared to, being able to present your home to a typical buyer on the MLS. And the MLS opens it up to everybody. If you're just dealing with Joe Rosen, the investor, you literally have one buyer in front of you instead of thousands, right? So it drastically changes what you're able to do. I usually tell people the person who really fits an investor profile perfectly, as far as the seller is concerned, is someone who's got a home that needs some work, renovations, updates. They don't want to do it. And the majority of first-time home buyers would not purchase their home the way it is, even if they were to reduce their price. If I take a typical, $400,000 first-time home buyer out and they're looking at homes, they want the prettiest home with the most updates, right? And if I show them something that's even got wallpaper in one room, that could be the thing that they're like, not going to do it, not doing wallpaper. Next. People want convenience these days, right? So that is the perfect seller for this. But then the question is, are you willing to take it in the shorts when it comes to your bottom line because you don't want to put in the effort to repair or update or whatever it is you need to do to this stuff? And if time is important to you and you don't really care about losing maybe $20,000, $30,000, maybe more, then I think an investor is a great option for a lot of people, assuming you find a good, solid investor, right? But talk to me a little bit about, we've talked about some of these different programs. I think you're probably most familiar with the iBuyer program, but there's other programs too where these investors come out and they'll give you mass offers. I think Zillow's done it before. There's another company I can't think of.
Open Door.
There you go. And these guys will come in and give you offers. And when they come in, it sounds pretty dang good. Hey, we're going to give you an offer at 95% of full value. And, we've got this and that, and you're going to be able to cut out commission. But then talk to me about what those offers actually look like once you dig into the fees.
You're going to have a fee associated with them. I know with the platform that I use, we are always going to have some form of compensation because we're bringing you these offers in. So you're not cutting off all compensation that you're going to give over to an agent. One, two, you are going to get a lower offer. And number three, also think about down the road. If your property does need repairs, either that's going to reflect in the offer that they're offering you, or you're still going to have some of those costs that they're going to take out of their offer. You're still going to have to pay for it. And now you don't have the option of having a traditional buyer that you could usually negotiate those repairs or those renovation fees with. For example, Open Door. Open Door comes in and, it's great for some people. They come in and offer, we'll repair your roof, we'll do this and this and that. But at the end of the day, that's still going to come out of your bottom line number. So you can't get away from those fees.
How many of these investor deals would you say you've done where somebody has come in as an investor, made an offer that's lower than what they could probably get if they were to repair and replace whatever? Not just like, say they got $30,000 in repairs and updates. Not only would you make 30 grand more, you might make 50, 60, 70 grand more, right? How many of these would you guess that you've been involved with?
I've been involved with, well, let's say under 10 transactions.
Okay.
Where I've done that. Yeah.
I've probably done 8 or 10 of them too, I
Yeah.
would say.
Yeah.
And talk to me about the sellers that you've worked with. Has it been a good fit? Has it not going to been a good fit? I'm guessing there's a little bit of both. And maybe pick that person who it was the best fit for and the person who probably it was the worst fit for. And talk to me about both of those two people. The reason I ask you this is there's people listening right now, and they might be in a situation where they're thinking, I got to get out of here. Now I need an offer right now. Talk to me about it so that they can kind of feel, am I the right person for this offer?
And I try to explain to my sellers, even if your property needs a new roof, even if the kitchen is dated, the bathrooms need renovation, you're still leaving so much money on the table. So for those sellers, what I say is, even if your property needs renovations, needs certain repairs, really understand the market that you're in and ask an agent for the information of comparable properties. What could your property sell for? What can you net? So then you're really comparing apples to apples. Now, I've come into homes where homes are completely gutted, horrible fire damage, water damage, big issues like that. Now, that's a little different. It may be your best route to then just go with the first offer you get. You just want to get out of the property really quick. If someone's in a financial burden, and they're maybe on the verge of losing the property to a foreclosure, but you have the margin because you've had this property for a long time, so taking a loss isn't such a big hit, then go for it. Listen, you're getting out of a situation that you need to get out of. But if you are in a foreclosure and the margin is tight and you need to make sure you make at least enough to cover that sale of the property so you could pay the bank what you owe, it wouldn't be an option either. You're still probably better off putting it on the market and getting offers from a larger number of people. Yeah.
Here's another thing I'd throw it to. Most investors, they're going to buy your home, whether it's today or whether it's in 2 weeks, whether it's in 4 weeks. It really doesn't matter. If the numbers work out, the numbers work out in a month, right? So at a minimum, if you want to move forward with something like this, talk to a realtor, talk to a professional, get it on the market, take professional photos, market it well to the masses on the MLS. Tell your realtor, you got 30 days. If you sell it, great. If you don't, I'm going with this program. As long as they know that, in my opinion, that is fair game. And now you're seeing if that offer truly is the best. So now if you've got some offer, your home, well, it doesn't matter what you think it's worth. Let's say you got an offer for 3.25. If you put it on with Lissette for 30 days and she gets you 360, whoo, thank God we went with Lissette. We wasted 30 days? And if you can't get an offer better than your 3.25, and you would take that, then hey, I gave a reasonable person a reasonable amount of time. We didn't get it sold for more than what I've got. I feel a lot better about this offer.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. Just getting informed and getting educated and asking, your local professional, someone that you know, someone that you trust, and to provide that information for you. So you're making a decision as an educated seller, because it really is a disproportion. You have these iBuyers come in. And again, for some people, it is a great option. But if you're leaving money on the table, having the property on the market for 30, 60 days and having a few showings maybe sounds like an inconvenience, but is that worth inconvenience worth $30,000-$40,000? For me, it is.
Exactly. I'll do that all day long
Yeah.
for $20,000, $30,000,
Yeah.
$40,000. Well, Lissette, I appreciate you. This is a phenomenal topic. A lot of people are going to see this throughout their lives, right? You're going to see it. Maybe you haven't dealt with it before like we have. Even us. This is what we do. And we're telling you, we've probably done 8 to 10 each. You don't see it a lot, but when you do see it, you want to know what you're talking about. If you guys have any questions, comments, anything like that, you can find us all over social media. And if you comment on this video, whether it's in, a day or whether it's in 3 months, we're always going to respond to you and help you out. So, Lissette, I appreciate your time. Thank you so much, everybody. I thank you for joining us, and have a great 2023.